Hello, Taurus. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Taurus is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. If there is anything you would like me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I provide. And remember, Taurus, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. 10 of Wands. This is a lot of stress. This feels like you're kind of, you're overworked maybe, okay? This is a card of like, we've taken on way too much. I think you're somebody that feels like they have to carry everything on their shoulders. I feel a heaviness in your shoulders. I feel like you're coming home and you're going like this, because I just feel like there's too much weight. It's like you've got a backpack full of bricks on, okay? And so I think you're starting to notice this. I think there's some aspect of your life where it just feels like this is not sustainable. I can't go this hard, this fast, forever. At some point, we got to dial it back. Maybe it's like, well, if I just go hard for a few years, I'll be good to go. I'll be set, and then I could slow down, right? And what happens in a couple of years? It says, well, maybe I could go a couple more. Okay, so we can go this fast or this hard until we can't. Let's put this card into a little bit of context, okay? Oh, look at that. Well, 10 of Cups. It's, yeah, it's very tempting, you know. If the harder I go, the more of that good stuff I get, right? Maybe this is really just saying work hard, play hard. Yeah, work hard, play hard. We have an Emperor. And we have your Taurus power card. Okay, well, maybe I spoke too soon, because it feels to me like the Emperor knows what they're doing. The Emperor knows how to work hard and play hard. The Builder knows what they're doing. Okay. Queen of Pentacles. The Fool. I do feel like there is an end to this at some point. Okay. I feel like what is too heavy right now is going to be let go of at some point. Okay, so this isn't something that you're going to try to sustain forever. I think there is sort of there is a goal. There is a point where you're going to be content with what you've accomplished, and you're going to be able to sort of let go of some of that weight. All right, taking the backpack of bricks off. There we have the Eon card, the Universe card too, a Princess of Wands and a 5 of Pentacles. I wonder if this is sort of a financial goal for you. We have your Taurus power card here. The 5 of Pentacles is Mercury in Taurus. So I feel like you have a strategy, you have a plan, you have an idea here for this breakthrough. And I feel like it's probably a lot closer than you think. This is a card that's saying, like, there's a reason why you're working so hard and so fast. You're digging and digging and digging and digging and digging. People are coming by, why are you burning? They look at you like you're covered in dirt, you're sweaty, you're exhausted. Why are you digging? You're saying, it's only a little bit further, and then I'll be done. Okay? I feel like you have a plan or a strategy. You're making magic. You're making magic. Mercury, right? The Magician card in Taurus. You are the magician now. You know what changes you're trying to sort of manifest in your life. You got goals, basically, right? Let's select the mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown. I'm going to set it down right here with Tiny Bob Ross right on top. Happy little Bob. We're not going to look at that happy little card until the very end. It will tie everything together. It will give us the confirmation that we need at the end of the reading. If anybody knows how many little Bobs I have in the studio, and you can answer that question in the comments, you'll win a smiley face from me. But if you know what that card is, you could put that prediction in the comments as well. All right. Now let's look around the room. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 major arcana cards. Okay. We've got that Emperor, serious, disciplined. Okay. Keeping things in order, has a structure, has a system in place. We got the Fool, which is freedom, letting go, novelty, nothing on my back, zero responsibilities. I'm a feather in the cosmic wind. I'm a cork on the cosmic ocean. Nothing keeping me down, you know. And of course, we kind of see that over here too. We've got the Eon card, which is a rebirth card. So it's kind of like saying this situation over here is going to end, and you're going through this doorway, and you're going to be that fool in the universe. You're going to be the feather in the cosmic wind, the cork on the cosmic ocean. You're going to be free. So this is a burden that is not going to last forever. Now, of course, we have fire and fire. We have big water here. We don't have any air, which is very interesting. Then we've got earth, earth, and earth cards. So why is there no air? Well, because you don't have any doubts or questions. There's nothing to figure out. You've got a plan. You've got a purpose. You're working as hard as you possibly can to get to the goal, and then you're going to stop. You know? Because right now, yes, you feel this huge burden on your shoulders. You're carrying all the weight for your team, for your people, for your life. You've taken on way too much. Yeah, I think you know that. You could sort of ask for support. You could delegate some of this work. You do not have to carry all of it alone. I'm not saying that you have to alter your goal or your timeline, but how can you make it a little easier on yourself? I think that 10 of Cups is important too. I think that you're going to need to share some of this work with other people. You don't have to do it all by yourself. Drop some of the things that aren't as important to the goal. I feel like with that 5 of Pentacles, like you got a timeline. It's kind of like saying, I want to have a certain amount of money by a certain date. I want to have $1 million in the next 10 years or whatever, right? So I feel like you're trying to get there as fast as you can. Okay, so keep it. You got your 10-year plan, whatever. I'm just saying because it's a 10 of Wands, right? You can keep the timeline. How can you get there easier with less risk of burnout? How can you get there more streamlined? How can you simplify all of this work that you're doing right now? Okay, you maybe ask for help, share the load, drop things that aren't so important to that timeline. Don't make it more difficult on you than you need to. Don't add extra bricks in your backpack that aren't going to be useful in any way. Okay? Simplify. How can you make this easier on yourself? Your energy matters because if you burn out, you're not going to get to the goal anyway. Okay, so you have to protect your energy right now. It means you have to rest. Resting does not mean weakness. Resting does not mean that you're not going to get to the goal. Resting is the only way you're going to get to the goal by the deadline that you've set for yourself. Okay. This week, consider how you might be able to lighten the load. How you might be able to, maybe you could release one thing that's going to help to restore your energy. Okay. The 10 of Cups is very cool, 10 and 10. I feel like it's work hard, play hard. I feel like the 10 of Cups is sort of representing a few things. One, it's satiety. One, it's that point where you work as hard as you can so that you can stop working hard as you can, right? So this is kind of, to me, it almost feels like the full stop. This is a fire and a water. They don't get along, fire and water, right? So this is like, you can either have one or the other. This is intense ambition, pedal to the metal, because I'm going somewhere. Once you get there, you don't want to sit there with your foot on the gas, do you? No, you want to enjoy it. You want to kick back with your feet in a lounge chair, sipping a virgin pina colada, watching the tide come in, watching the sailboats out on the ocean. I don't know if maybe you like the beach or something, right? This is that completion, okay? This is that satisfaction. This is harmony, this is connection, this is love. So the other aspect of that is, yes, work hard, play hard, make sure that you balance the fire and the water so that you can get to your goals by the deadline that you've set for yourself. Also, family, emotional balance and connection, relationships that you have in your life can help to make your work, your burden easier. Let life be a little bit simpler and a little bit more peaceful by joining these cards together and kind of like being able to rely on other people a little bit. Okay? Renew yourself by sharing love and affection with other people. Protect your peace as well. Don't take on more burdens. Don't take more bricks in your backpack. Don't put more on your plate. Okay? This is a card of emotional fulfillment. We have to make sure that we've got an end game, that we have a goal that we're going to reach, a number that we're going to hit, where then we could say, okay, now I'm focused on enjoying my life. Okay? The problem is, though, we don't want to wait to some future date to enjoy our lives, right? We've got to enjoy the process now, because that's going to keep us motivated to get to the goal. Then we can enjoy the goal too. Why not enjoy both? Why not enjoy the destination and the journey there? Okay. I think you're learning what emotional fulfillment really means to you. Savor the journey, savor the emotional safety. You are creating stability in your life, okay? You're finding balance between your rest and your activities, between family and work or career, between, pedal to the metal and just parking the car and enjoying the sunset, having a picnic or something, right? We've got to balance these two things. I think that's going to give you a lot of motivation. You're keeping the momentum, but it's also something that you're able to sustain. And I think that's really why we have that Prince of Pentacles in the background there, which we'll talk about in just a minute, because this is that card that's like showing up every day, the builder. It's that consistency. And I think what you're realizing now is that you're going to run out of gas before you get to your freedom, unless something changes, unless there's some kind of you got to take some rest. You got to work hard, you got to play hard. You got to work all day and then you got to sleep all night. You got to have that kind of balance. Otherwise, I feel like this builder is going to run out of steam. Yeah. You've got the Emperor. The Emperor is a card of boundaries, structure, discipline, stability, and leadership. This is kind of like you got to choose your top priorities. Choose what really matters right now and ignore everything else. Maybe you feel like you're carrying all the bricks in your back. It's kind of like someone who's at school and they've got all their school books in their backpack and they're carrying them around every class they have, but they don't need all the books. That's why they had lockers, I guess, at school, right? I don't need these books right now. I'm only going to take the one I need with me today. You don't have to carry the rest of it. It's good for exercise, I guess. But eventually it's gonna wear you down. So choose, this week at least, choose the priority and stick to those priorities. Ignore everything else. Create structure. I think you're somebody that needs structure, or you like structure already. Time blocks, lists, rules, systems in place. 7 o'clock, it's time for me to take a bubble bath. Putting the work down. I drove for 8 hours, time for me to pull over and get a snack, have a picnic, and watch some TV in a motel or something, I don't know. But making rules for yourself And also making rules for other people. Not letting somebody call you up at 2 o'clock in the morning and say, yeah, what about those TPS reports? No. No. Putting on the do not disturb sign, right, when you need to. What's one of those boundaries that you've been avoiding? What's something that you know in your life right now needs to have that boundary? Let me know in the comments. Okay? We all have them. And I think we can all kind of, like if we thought about it, we can all identify one, right, that we've been needing to set that we haven't yet. And it's like every day someone's crossing that boundary and it says, I got to just make it a rule at some point, you know. Or rules for ourselves, you know. Sometimes it's, you know, it's midnight and I'm on my phone sort of checking the numbers for the channel, you know. I know I got to set that boundary. I know I got to set that rule for myself and make it firm and make it kind of, you know, like a blanket statement. It's after 7 o'clock, I'm not going to look at the views on the channel or whatever, right? Take care of one personal responsibility that you've been putting off. Take care of one thing that's for you. Do you need to make a dentist appointment? Do you need to go get a massage? Do you need to get a haircut? I do. You know, do you need to do laundry? I do. Do one thing. Find out what that one thing is. Okay? Handle one personal thing. Self-care kind of thing that you've been putting off. Yeah. And with that 10 of Wands, when you're feeling overwhelmed, simplify. Take a break, rest, break things into smaller steps. The 10 of Wands is overwhelm. Okay? And I think if we can strive for a little bit of balance, maybe we won't feel so overwhelmed. It won't feel like there's any kind of anxiety there. And I feel like you have all this energy here, so you know these things. I'm not telling you anything new. I'm not teaching you anything. I'm just reminding you. Okay? Reminding you that leadership begins with self-respect. Okay? You need to stand tall, you need to be clear, and you need to be calm, assertive. You don't need to dominate. Okay? Stability is being built now through consistent structure and authority, and you're the boss. You got to be the boss of yourself, your inner authority. You got to tell yourself what to do, even when you don't always want to do it that way. You know, it's kind of like, okay, I know I need to just rest. I know I need to take more time for myself, or I need to get more sleep at night, or I need to drink more water. That's a message here too. You got to hydrate, Taurus. You got to hydrate. So the Prince here, right? This is the energy coming in from the past. This is like your kind of standard procedures, right? This is your consistency, your diligence, your follow through. Okay, you've been working the plan. You've built a plan, a system, and you've stuck to it. And really, this is kind of like, you know, you got your plans. You've got to build the house, right? You have the blueprints. They say, here's the blueprints for the house. You got to build the house by New Year's, right? And so the builder comes in and says, all right, let's build the house. We've got a couple of months left, that's it. You know, and we do whatever we have to get it done by that time. I feel like this is how you've been operating. You've given yourself a blueprint, and you said, we can reasonably achieve this by whatever. Maybe it's like a 6-month plan, a year, 5 years, maybe it's your 10-year plan. That, you know, if I keep working as hard as I can, in 10 years I can be free. And that's good, you know. And then you're sticking to it. And you're just slow and steady, showing up every day, doing those things. I feel like you're maybe things are a little bit harder than you thought. Maybe they're not going, maybe like your blueprints assume that you could drive like 1,000 miles an hour. Maybe you need to rethink it a little bit so you can schedule in the pit stops, schedule in traffic, schedule in contingencies. Other things are going to pop up. You know, it's easy to say, if everything goes perfectly, I'll get to my goal in 1 year. Things are not going to go perfectly. Okay? And so, you know, I think that it's reasonable to give yourself some flexibility. It's reasonable to be pretty somewhat lenient with yourself. Okay? So focus on what you have to do right now. Don't focus too much on the future. Don't worry about the future. It's sort of karma. It's sort of, if you do the best thing that you can do right now, the future is going to basically build itself. Okay? All of the princes of the tarot are focused on the present moment. Okay? Doing what's right in front of us, not worrying about the whole journey. Because the Ten of Wands is the bricks, right, in the backpack. You don't need to carry all the books for your next classes. You only need the book you need right now for this class. So worrying too much about the future is then adding too much weight and too much responsibility and too much stress and burden on our shoulders that we don't need right now. Does that make sense? So just focus on what you got to do right now today, because that's going to make you feel a lot more light, a lot easier. Okay? Take care of your body. Your energy, your physical energy, and your well-being and your health is vitally important here. Without it, none of this works. Okay? And your reliability makes you powerful. And I think that you're valuing yourself, right? Like, you know that your energy, your time, all of your resources are valuable. And so you're making boundaries, you're setting limits. You're not going to just let anybody just call you up at any time, day or night, to ask you a ridiculous question about something, you know? You're protecting your energy, right? And you're going to keep moving. And you realize that self-care is a very important part of this process. You have a discipline. You're staying steady. You are building something significant. Okay? Your devotion is to your future self. So you have to make decisions that honor that. Discipline is devotion to the future. Okay? Your future self, who you are, where you are, and what you're doing down the road, whatever that goal is, whatever your strategy is. Okay? So what's on your mind now really is this Queen of Pentacles. This is comfort, nourishment, home, resourcefulness, taking care of your body and your space. Your environment helps to shape your energy. Simple, healthy meals, keeping your space tidy and clean. Okay? Managing your finances and your resources, having emotional boundaries. Okay? Staying grounded, supporting yourself, feeling supported, right? You're thriving. Your decisions right now are going to protect your well-being. Okay? And I think you already know what stabilizes you. You already know the things that you need to do, the things that work. It's just a matter now of like returning to those practices and making those rules and making that structure for yourself, incorporating some of that into the plan. Okay? Nurture yourself the way you nurture the work or others. You know what I mean? Like, treat yourself that way too. Make choices that feel nourishing. Okay, you got to feed yourself here. And I think that whatever the goal is, whatever the universe is that you're trying to build, it's going to be built. It's going to be built quickly. And you're going to be there to enjoy it. Okay? You're creating not only the best life, but the best version of you that's going to be in that life. It's going to be living that life. Okay? Let's do one oracle of manifestation before we talk about that Fool. The Fool really is the turning point here, you know? And here we have energy flow. Clear pathways in the body for spirit's energy to transform. I release any blocks. Yeah, so it really is that kind of that physical, the body, right? A nourishing, taking care of your body, self-care, so that you don't burn out because you have a lot of work to do, right? The Fool going forward is this new chapter. This is a fresh start. To me, this is the goal. This is when you're ready for a new cycle, ready for that reset or that refresh. That's what you're building up to. Okay? This is lightening the load. This is now you have no more bricks on your backpack, in your backpack, on your back, right? This is kind of like you're moving now you're moving more freely in your life, okay? And I think that this is a freedom of movement. This is the search for novelty. This is kind of like the Fool that says, I don't have to do anything. I can go where the wind blows me, okay? I feel like a lot of you are creating a kind of financial freedom, or there's some finish line you're going to cross, and on the other side of it, you're not going to have that responsibility anymore. Okay, so this is that reset. This is that new chapter that's going to begin. Okay, this is a freedom to explore. This is curiosity. This is a shift to maybe even like more creative work, or to just kind of earning the ability to choose your next adventure. Okay? So maybe it is financial. Once you hit a certain number, you're free. You don't have to work. You don't have to work that hard. Okay? And it seems like the Fool is someone that can do what they want, can make plans that resonate with them. They can choose things that align with their values. They can choose, anything. They can try new things. They could sample and test things. They can explore. Okay, this is a refreshing energy here. And this to me feels so different than any of the other cards. This, I think, was all the work, structure, discipline, and just really all of the perseverance that's leading to this release. This new chapter that's about to begin. It's a new cycle. And that's in the immediate future. I feel like very soon you're going to arrive at this point. Yeah. Now, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do. The readings are totally free. Let me know which card on the path of the dove resonates with you the most. Okay? We're going to talk about the path of the serpent. Your general energy is the Eon card. This is an awakening. This is that breakthrough. This is when you're stepping through this portal and the old identity, that past version of you, you've outgrown it. Okay? I think that this is the moment where everything changes, where what you've been having to do as part of that, and you have to do it because it's your plan, it's your deadline, right? Stepping through this doorway, it's basically the Fool stepping through this doorway. And when you step through this doorway of fire, you can't bring your old self through. Okay? This is that energy that gets to decide who you're becoming. And so I think that this was you deciding that you want to be free. And so you made that choice. You said, I want to be the Fool. I want to be free of all this burden, all this responsibility. I want to be free of all this stress. Okay, so how do you do that? Well, pedal to the metal. You set a goal, you get the plan, you get the goal, you set a deadline, and you go. You've made the choice. And I think that this is really about you, like you took your life into your own hands and you said, I'm going to do something here. You are deciding who you're becoming. Yeah. And this seems like the process of you going through this doorway, of becoming who you've decided to become. You want to become someone who's financially independent? You want to retire early or something, or I don't know, whatever it is. Then that's who you're choosing to become. So you've got to do that work. You've got to get to that. You've got to take that journey. And I feel like it's very close. I feel like it is very, very, very close. This is your rebirth moment, okay? And your future self is asking you, has asked you to step forward and step up, and you have been. And even with the, with the 10 of Cups, I feel like this is that maximum effort. This is that maximum reward. And of course, the Fool is being reborn into a new life on a new octave, right? So I feel like this is very, very, very close. Very close. Okay. And now the Universe card is in your environment. This is completion. This is the fulfillment of your mission, of your task, of your plan. Whatever you've been building, it's built. Okay. This cycle is completed, and the Fool is about to begin the next cycle. But first, you've got to just enjoy this win. You've got to enjoy, this is something big. Okay, this is a very big cycle that's completed. You've got to acknowledge the accomplishment, celebrate it, feel it, and then the Fool gets to choose the next adventure. Okay, this is you receiving the results of your work. Celebrate, honor it. Okay, you did this. When this completion happens, it's giving you a little bit of breathing space. Okay, the new cycle will begin very soon, yes, but you've got to enjoy that 10 of Cups. So again, maximum effort, maximum reward, and then, then you get to choose what the new cycle. So this is you standing in wholeness. This is you standing in that world that it's like you've built the house. The house is completed and on time and under budget, right? And you're going to enjoy it. And you're going to feel good. And you're going to wait a little while before you start building the next house. Or whatever it might be. Okay? I feel like you're establishing your role in the larger universe. You're stepping into your true destiny. Stepping into the largeness of your life here. And this is also a card of freedom, travel. No boundaries, no restrictions, no limitations. It's financial freedom. The Fool now is free to go anywhere they want in the world, do anything they want. Because you've got relatively speaking, you've got the money now, okay, or the time or whatever we're talking about, to do what you feel called to do. Whatever's next for you. Seems like it's, to me, I feel financial freedom, but I don't know, you can tell me what it is. I feel like that harvest is just about to arrive. The completion of this big mission. The reason why you've got all those wands there, But all those wands are leading to all of this bliss. Your dream is about to come true. Okay? Your dream is about to come true. And now we have a Princess of Wands here as well, which is this eagerness to start something new. It's kind of a restless card. It's a card that wants to take risks. This is an energy that really is curious and is exploring other things. There's awakening here. There's just kind of like I'm getting fired up. I feel a new passion. There's a playful energy. This is a renewed vitality. You got to pause. That's why this is in the position of the fear, worry, concern, or the obstacle. Because when you finish this task, or this big mission, and this 10 of Cups arrives, all that bliss and that dream come true energy arrives, you're going to sort of just feel like, I just got to start the new thing as quickly as possible. It's going to be difficult for you to slow down, I think. So keep this card a little bit at bay, right? You're going to try new things. You're going to be curious. You're going to get to explore and follow your passions and be playful and all this stuff and be curious. Just don't be in a rush. Okay, don't be in a rush. As you move forward from this, let your excitement guide your choices. Whatever you feel sort of called upon to do, what you feel is waking up your enthusiasm. Okay? You try something new, but give yourself pause first. Don't just leap automatically into something else. Enjoy what you've created here. Give yourself time to slow down and be content with what you've built, because that was the point. Remember, the point was to be free of that burden, of that responsibility, to be free of having to work. Okay? So let things calm down a little bit. Enjoy the silence. And then there's going to be plenty of time for you to experiment and, dabble in certain things and sort of follow the spark into new directions. Okay? The Five of Pentacles to me is really kind of talks about the goal, the longer arc of your destiny, And what it is, it's kind of like going from scarcity to abundance. It's going from, having to really tighten my belt, having to really focus my energy very specifically and channel my resources somewhere so I can get that bigger goal. It's kind of like I'm going to be very frugal with my money now, very conservative with my money now, and invest it or, whatever, so that it can grow into so much more, right? So this to me kind of represents that scarcity mindset. Living below our means, feeling like I don't want to be stressed out about money anymore. So what you're doing is you're working hard, you're managing your resources, and you're going to get free of the money stress. Okay, that's the Fool, right? You're solving the problem. Yeah, and so this even is kind of saying that the scarcity is a temporary thing, but even moving forward, you still want to kind of remember what it's like, so that you don't end up getting that lifestyle creep, or like you start spending way more money than you need to, or that you should. I feel like the financial challenges of life are being transcended through this process. Okay, this is stress over resources. The Fool is free of that stress. Okay. But this card is at the end of the path of the Serpent, because it's still you being mindful. It's like even when you're rich, you're still going to have a little bit of that scarcity mind, because you don't want to go back to that, You don't want to overspend. You don't want to waste or squander those resources that you've acquired. So I like this card in that future position, or that long-term destiny sort of position. But it's also telling me what your goal is in life, which is to break free of the financial worries of life and reach a point of kind of financial stability, financial success, or independence. Okay? You're digging for gold here. And I think once you find it, all those problems are going to go away. Now let's look at the mystery card. This could be the Wheel of Fortune. It could be the Empress. It could be the Hierophant. It could be a nice, 9 or 10 of Pentacles. If you have a prediction, please put it in the comments. Let's see. A Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords is wise, is a leader, has strategy, is logical, not emotional, but isn't detached from emotions, is compassionate, but is direct, professional, concise, and very clear with what they want. So this is kind of like organizing your systems and planning, having the strategy. Don't get entangled in drama. Keep your mind clear and sharp and decisive. Make your life, find ways, clever ways, to make your life easier. Okay? Work smarter, not harder, and you will get to that goal. And so, if your goal is the financial freedom or financial independence, then this is you not falling prey to all those temptations. This is you kind of knowing what you've got to do to get there, and being able to say no to any of those entanglements that are just going to either add burden, add weight onto your shoulders, or are going to squander those resources. Okay? You're just, while everybody else is out partying, you're there saving money or studying or working hard or taking on side hustles or extra projects or researching or whatever, you know what I mean? Like you're very clear about how you need to use your time. And I think the self-care is going to be a big factor there. But also just making your life easier so that you can get to the goal faster, okay, with more energy to spare. Anyway, we're going to do an extended reading if you want to stick around. There's a link in the corner. There's a link down below. New readings for Taurus on Wednesdays and Sundays. Be sure to watch both readings. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Leave a comment and let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you are the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you, and we're all in this together.